few questions on your time you spent with this gentleman, because I think it's important. I feel like only a handful of people ever get that experience, right? So let's say you have ultra wealthy, let's say they have family or a spouse that are with them when they die. And then, but you were probably the closest person to him before he passed away. And, from what it sounds like, maybe he was probably at one point one of the wealthiest people, in the United States or, probably in the world. What are conversations like? Because you obviously are helping him go to like doctor's appointments and other things, but you're like probably sitting in the same room with him quite a bit. Mm-hmm. What does like a normal day look like? And then what are your conversations like? Because, you're at the end. Like, you've made all your money. I'm sure he probably wasn't still entrepreneurial where he's investing and trying to increase his wealth. Like, what does a normal day look like? And then what's like a normal conversation? And then were there any like kind of periods of time where he was vulnerable with you about his life?
Mm-hmm. Well, I would say that individuals like that are very guarded. He had his first wife had been the sole heir of Skelly Oil, and then she passed away, and so he took that oil company, he merged it with J. Paul Getty's Getty Oil, to form Texaco. So I mean, this man, okay, is just extremely wealthy. His wife and that would be his second wife, was still living when I started working for him. And she, in her own right, she had traveled with Bob Hope. She had been a movie actress in a lot of movies. She had she had 3 husbands, including the one I worked for. But the one before the gentleman I worked for was, Ralph Evinrude, Evinrude Boat Motors. So these people were just at a level that they had a yacht called the Chanticleer, 110-foot yacht. And so we would take some time on that. And neither one of them would talk much. They would just sit there. There was really nothing else for them to say. They'd sit and maybe look at, through the binoculars at birds and animals, and they were beyond being impressed. Okay, I've seen museums. I've seen large nonprofits come in and solicit them for funds and naming buildings after them and so forth. And they were just unimpressed with that. I think they were both beyond that. The simple things in life, though, is what pleased him. For example, in 2005, we had a hurricane in South Florida, and 4 and 5. But their dock was damaged, and both of them were too old to fish, but she knew I loved to fish. So what was important was to rebuild the dock so that we could fish, and then I'd bring the fish up, and they just enjoyed looking. It was just the oddest thing. It was the oddest thing.
Is it like a sense of, do you think there's a sense where you get so desensitized at that level that watching, I don't want to say peons, but watching the normal people of the world enjoy simple things is like, maybe there's like a sense of they miss that, or they can't even enjoy it because they've been so desensitized to the.
Well, and they probably never really had that opportunity at all, because they've lived such public lives, protected lives, lives not knowing what someone's intentions are with the relationship. Very seldom would anyone just want to be friends to be friends.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted something from them.